Are we live? I can't see. Oh yeah, I think we're live.
I think it's us.
Awesome. All right. Well, hello everybody. We are USC Live, and I'm Emma Meili. I'm joined here by Lily, Millipede, Sari, and Skylar. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, I can go first. My name is Millipede. I just graduated from USC in May with an international business degree. And so now I'm working in the tech industry, and I'm kind of deciding how to balance that with my passion for gaming and streaming. So I've been doing both of those things, and I think it's been really fun. So I kind of have a little more experience on that side of things, kind of transitioning from a university lifestyle to now working. And it's been really great. I play FPS games, especially Valorant. I love that one. But yeah, it's nice to meet you all.
I guess I can go next. Hi, I'm Sari Berry. I'm a current junior at USC studying computational neuroscience, and I also am working on a minor in 3D animation. I recently started streaming, I think around August, after a little bit of motivation from Emma and a couple of my close friends. And I play Apex and a little too much of Genshin Impact and Minecraft right now. And I'm really excited to see where streaming's taking me.
Hi everyone. I'll go next. I'm Skylar Nix. I'm a sophomore computer science and business administration major at USC. I have a minor in like web development, and I recently started streaming. I think it's been like half a year now, so like basically 6 months. It's been super fun and super awesome, and I'm super excited to meet all you guys in chat.
Hey guys. I'm Blade Princess. I went by Lily IRL until recently, but I stream mostly League, but like variety content, mostly with the focus on the chat and just the community.
All right, and I didn't really introduce myself, but hello everybody. I'm Emma. Thank you all for being here today. I stream variety. I stream everything from like piano to just chatting. I'm like a huge mental health advocate, as my community knows. I kind of try to like spread positivity, good vibes. I also play League of Legends, Minecraft, and a bunch of other games, whatever I'm kind of feeling. So today on this stream, I guess I kind of wanted to lead a discussion in a bunch of different topics, from like identity to student life and COVID, as things have been changing like crazy, to self-care, and then also balancing work and how we balance school life, streaming, and our hobbies. And then at the end of the stream, I want to just talk a bit about like gratitude and positivity. And I want this to be like interactive for the chat. So if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to answer the questions too, I feel free to just drop in chat. I see all you guys. What's up? And yeah, so I guess, so the first question I'm going to pose is, we could go in the same order that we introduced ourselves. I guess I could go first if you want, but what part of your identity are you most comfortable with? And if you're comfortable sharing, what part of your identity are you least comfortable with? So I can go first, or does anyone else feel inclined to go first?
You got this.
All right, so I'm a very like extroverted person in like a social setting, but on like, people don't know this, but I'm typically more introverted, like when it comes to just who I am as a person. I call myself like an extroverted introvert. So on the outside, I always try to like show the best parts of myself, especially on stream. I try to be, I am positive, but I try to like show my positive parts. I want to be, the best person I can, be kind to everybody. And I'm really comfortable with showing those parts just because I like to talk and I like to like spread love and positivity. But I guess the parts that I'm not comfortable with is like my anxiety. So I have really bad anxiety, and I don't really talk about that often, which is, even though like I'm a mental health advocate, like I do struggle with my own mental health issues, which is totally normal. And like, that's why I try to normalize the conversation, I guess. So yeah, just my anxiety and like my other parts of my mental health. But that's why I wanted to have this conversation, just to like normalize talking about this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I can go next again. So I would say in terms of my identity, I like to stay very positive as well. And I think growing up, in high school, I didn't have the best time. And it was kind of just learning from that experience and taking that. And as you get older, you learn from your failures and from maybe bad experiences that have happened to you. And so you can take those and make them into something positive. And now I feel like I've really been able to establish my identity. Whereas when I was in high school or younger, I was kind of like, I didn't really know where I stood. And then another thing about my identity, I am half Serbian and half American. And I think I've always struggled with that because, for example, when I came to college, someone had realized that I was half Serbian and they said, "Oh, I thought you didn't have any culture." And that moment, I really questioned my identity. But I think just staying strong in like who you are and knowing that your ethnicity and your background like really makes up who you are. That's why I'm really proud to be half Serbian and half American. And it's been really great getting to know that side of myself as well. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in terms of my identity, I feel most comfortable with the person I am or the person I display myself as I am when it comes to helping people, I guess. On stream, I try and like help people out when it comes to they're asking questions about like university life or how they're feeling or if things are getting stressful, especially recently because of like the light of COVID and all of the events going on, that we've really had a chance to like kind of collect and think about our lives, our identity, and like who the person we want to be as. And I feel like I am most myself at that point when I'm trying to help people figure out or navigate their own brains and what they're own trying to think about. But I think I'm the least comfortable. I actually relate to what Millipede said a lot. All of my family lives overseas in India and Singapore, and going back to them, I always feel this very strong like rift between the way that I grew up and the way that they expected me to grow up and things like that. So that's something I'm currently trying to struggle with, and I'm trying to better myself in too.
Awesome.
So everyone in chat, I don't have a camera, so sadly you guys won't be able to see my icon when I'm talking, but it's Skylar again. And for me, I guess that the part that I'm an Asian American, and though I don't really show my face on the internet, I guess that I'm the most comfortable with the fact that I'm Asian, and mainly because of like the community I grew up in and like all these things. But I'm really the part that I struggle the most with is living up to those expectations as an Asian American. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but in a way, like you have to. I'm a CSBA major, so I'm kind of like falling into that STEM thing that everyone expects Asians to be, and it's kind of like weird because I don't really know if I want to be here, and I'm kind of like stuck between things. So I guess that's what I struggle with the most.
Yeah, I totally relate with that. Like as like also an Asian American, but like I was raised, so I'm adopted, if you guys didn't know that, and like my parents are both white. So like trying to I guess like live up to like my parents' expectations of like just being, person like in my everyday life, but like also like loving myself as an Asian American, even though I'm like from a white family, has always been hard for me. And like I guess like living up to both like I guess like the westernized standards of just life, but also like my Asian expectations and like the way that society like I guess puts expectations on me to be like good at like school, piano, and all these things that I kind of fall into this stereotype for. But also just trying to be my own person and not like try not to like really consider that. I totally get that. It's like hard to, I guess. It's hard to explain, but I get with that. I guess okay, the next question. How do you see yourself, and then like how do you think people see you? This is a hard one. I guess like how do you like see yourself? Like how would you describe yourself? And then like oh sorry, what's up, Lily?
Did I answer the previous one?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I forgot to script.
Okay, so identity is a hard question. You guys answered it all beautifully in your own ways. I guess for me, the identity that I put out is fairly unfiltered. I mean, I obviously I will think about what I say before I say it, but like I don't really hold back different parts of my personality. I come from like a decade plus, I don't really know of depression, and so a lot of other people do too. So being open about that is something that I think my stream tries to do different. And just like in the past, I made it really clear that the message of my community is supposed to be accepting and wholesomeness, which makes sense. I should probably say because I'm gender fluid, so I am not like like typical. I don't get to show exactly who I am just by people looking at me. Okay. It's been a really weird year, like trying to understand my identity, but like trying to incorporate. Should I explain what being gender fluid is?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Okay. So a lot of people don't really understand this. There's no huge push to educate people on it. Gender fluidity essentially means that your gender, at least my gender, changes with the situation, and how comfortable I am, etc. So there are, it's not like I'm a boy or a girl. It's more like my masculinity and femininity range, and even the prevalence ranges. So, so like my persona changes a lot, and figuring out my identity is a lot harder in that way. But it's been interesting, and I'm figuring it out in conjunction with my stream and what that means for me as a streamer. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. I guess as like a gender fluid streamer, like I guess how comfortable are you comfortable with like talking about that on stream, and like how do you guys like face like the community, like if there's like any like I don't know, how does the community I guess respond to that, I guess?
That's a good question. I guess I've chosen to identify more with my feminine side, just because I really like being an ego.
Yeah, totally.
And it's a lot of fun, and I haven't gotten to explore it too much, so I like going with that. But I don't know what it is like from the perspective of a viewer. I guess I should be thinking more about how it changes. But honestly, I think I'm just trying to. I think the more that I stream, which is very little at the moment, I'm trying to change that. I just got done with all finals, so doing that, yeah. But I don't think it's like I just have like these vastly different personas. So I think I have like a core personality, and the stream gets to know that, and then it's easy for them to get to know me through that. And I'm pretty
Yeah,
open.
totally. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry, I don't have the best answer. Thank you.
No, that was a great answer. No, it was really interesting. Do you guys anyone else want to add anything to that?
Yeah, can I ask like a follow-up question? I guess for me, I always want to be very inclusive, and I never want to be offensive to anyone. So I guess if someone is not as educated on something, what is the correct way to approach asking a question? You know what I'm saying? Because I never want to be like that person, but I also want to make sure I'm as educated as possible. So do you have, I guess, any answers to that, or anyone in chat?
Oh my gosh, the chat is probably gonna be really helpful.
Yeah.
But I guess the biggest pointer I can probably give is don't ask questions based on assumptions. Ask as wide and like ask questions that allow the individuals who are giving the responses as much like freedom within the intended kind of response. Like, so don't be like actually, you know, like asking something like does your gender change by the day is actually a valid question. But like asking
Yeah, sorry, that's a hard question.
It is. I'm sorry.
No, it's a difficult question. Does anyone
It's
have in chat like in chat?
yeah. I feel like it's
any
such
ideas?
a broad question that like everyone has an opinion on, right? So I think that it is hard to answer as well.
Anybody wants to answer it with me?
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
sometimes I don't know how to ask questions about like someone's identity or like because I don't want to like offend them, you know. But
Yeah,
like I'm like, genuinely
exactly.
curious. Like I don't have, you know, I'm sure none of us have like malicious intent. or
Definitely.
Start
sincere, you
big,
know?
get smaller. Like ask questions based on their responses, but not just based on
That's a good point.
presumptions.
That's a great point. Yeah, because I'm from Tennessee, so when I moved to California, I like wanted to make sure I didn't say anything the wrong way because I feel like there it is kind of a different culture too. For example, like I would say yes, ma'am, no, sir, and people would think I was saying they were old or something, so I had to change that. So it's interesting, like trying to make sure you stay inclusive and yeah.
No, I get
adapt
you.
to
I've been like kind of coming from that position too.
Oh, really?
Oh, not like moving, but like I mean like being like an outsider and being inquisitive, but not like knowing
Right.
how to approach it.
Right, definitely. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, like also like I never want to like assume someone's like pronouns or like their pronouns. So like, do we all want to like go around and just like say our pronouns? I guess. Like mine's she, hers, hers.
Mine's the same. Mine's also she, her, hers.
Same.
Same.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I always like. I guess like it's. I'm so glad that like pronouns have become like normalized. Like I put my pronouns in my like bio on Instagram and like just like when we introduce each other like one another now like at gatherings and we're meeting people like usually pronouns is like the first thing and like I don't know. I guess I'm glad that that's starting to become normalized.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
I've like I think for me, I spent a lot of time on Twitter. I saw pronouns being used a lot more on Twitter. So when like in the last 2 months or so, when I started seeing spread over Instagram, I was like, this is amazing. I'm so happy people are actually doing this. And like, it's not just in like the bubble of Twitter, or that's what it felt like. And I'm really happy that USC kind of like also promoted that from like the beginning. Cause like when I first came, I never really like thought that pronouns were going to be that relevant or used, but I'm happy it's kind of like made it normalized for me to be more comfortable with it, because at first I was really confused and I didn't really understand them, but I definitely, they're so important and I'm very happy that I'm using them.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Does anyone else have anything else before we want to move on?
Same. Before I like started thinking about this stuff, I was like, I was like, well, like I was walking down a hallway at my brother's university and they had pronouns on the doors, and this is probably like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, and like they were all cis pronouns cis pronouns based on what you might assume based on the name, which is, as we've discussed, not the best way to go about it, but I was just like kind of like confused about it, looking for things that would surprise me, and it's just such a different understanding now, I guess. I'm glad that it's becoming more prevalent. I hope that like along with that comes more education about it and why it's important.
Awesome. All right. So next question, I guess. Well, so this one's also a bit of a hard question, but you guys can like think about it. How do you see yourself? I guess like when you would describe yourself, like how do you see yourself? Like how would you describe yourself? And then how do you think other people see you? So I would say like how I see myself, like, I was talking this about before, but like I have really bad anxiety. So I think I'm like a very wired person. Like I'm really hard on myself also. Like I think I try, like I'm oftentimes like harder on myself than I probably should be. And I guess, but people on the outside like see me to be really like positive and happy all the time. And they don't see like those like, parts of myself that, are not super strong, not super positive all the time. And I guess that's hard sometimes because like, especially like streaming, like I always like try to be positive, but like, it's not possible. We're not always going to be happy and like things are not always going to be great. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep this short. But it definitely applies to me. I mean, it's really hard to express how I want to come off, because it doesn't just like change by the situation. It's also like it depends on my self-image. So the way that I act depends on like how I'm thinking of myself, and I'm obviously not always looking in a mirror. So there's that. I in terms of personality, I guess it's not really about that for me, which I guess is rather, I'm not sure what the right word is for it. Silly. I mean, I'm focused mostly on my appearance right now and like how I come off.
That's totally
I mean,
part of it.
I haven't
too.
changed my
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm also glad for that. Because like then I can I can use graphics to explain that, and that's better than if um I'm happy that I have the opportunity to do that and people aren't necessarily presuming me another way. However, I do think that I come off as loud and talking way too much and other things like that. So, I mean, anxiety is real.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a hard question to answer. I'll try to, I think I might be answering it incorrectly, but we'll see.
There's no wrong answers to it. No,
Okay,
no.
good.
It literally could be about anything. Like this,
Awesome.
anything and everything.
Well, I would say like in the past, I was very insecure about myself. Growing up like in high school in the South, everyone was kind of they all dressed the same. You know, they all spoke the same, so kind of similar ideologies. And I've never felt like I was a part of that. I always felt like an outsider. And I feel like that was really hard for me at that time to feel comfortable because, you know, people would show up with like the same oversized t-shirt with the Nike shorts, and I'd be there with like my like I don't know club t-shirt and like normal pants and I don't know, even the smallest things like that, when you're like out of school like that and you're surrounded by that environment, it just like it can make you feel uncomfortable and maybe sad. But now I've realized that I'm happy with who I am, and I want to come across the same way that I feel on the inside. So I try to be very vocal and vulnerable with people. And I've also realized that the environment shouldn't be the determining factor in how you feel about yourself, and that you know, I kind of like listen, and I'll talk about it later more with some other questions, but stoicism, like making sure that you're able to look into your emotions and change those based on how you feel instead of looking in the surrounding environments, and I guess using that energy, because sometimes that energy isn't what you need, it's like within, and that's what you need. So yeah, I would say before I was pretty insecure. Now I feel very secure with myself because I've been working on it a lot throughout college. I've just graduated, so it took me a while, but we're here, we made it. And you know, everyone's sad, right? Everyone's sad once in a while, and that happens, and it's okay to be sad and to accept those emotions and feel that sometimes. Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit more about what stoicism is?
Oh yeah, for sure. So stoicism, I have a little story. So there's this guy, and this is in the past, right? He came from a very rich family. They sold these dyes to wealthy families around the world. So he was on a boat with all of these dyes, the whole year's income, and the boat crashed, and he lost all of the dye. And so he thought to himself, what can I do now? I could either be like super upset and depressed and go, you know, drink my life away or something, or I could take this experience and realize that even though this has happened, I couldn't change any of that. What I can change is what I do now and how I'm able to react to the situation that has happened. And so I think that making sure that you're not reacting to the environment, but instead you're able to look at that and accept it and only change the things that you know you can change. So for example, right now COVID is happening. We can't change that. We can't change that we go out, we can't like go outside as much, but we can change the way that we're what we're doing during COVID at home. Like for example, a lot of us started streaming, and that was maybe one of our outlets for our like creativity and energy. And so yeah, there's just different ways to approach things. I hope I explained that right.
No, totally.
No, you
That's so
did. You did.
interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
you did
I actually
great.
didn't know what Stoicism was. So
Yeah, it's
thank you.
yeah, philosophy I live by.
Yeah, no,
Oh, that's
I
for
love
sure.
the like not worrying about the things that are like out of your control is something I need to live by more because I worry about everything.
It's very important, yeah.
Yeah.
Same with me about what Emma just said, but also I'm also really similar to what Emma said, as in like in a way the way I like show myself to other people is like different than the way I like think of myself. And I feel like that's mainly because I'm the type of person to keep things inside because I don't want to bother anyone else about what everything I'm dealing with and stuff like that. So I guess myself, I feel like I'm not as confident or I'm not as like out there as what other people might see me as. And like the way I put myself, especially like on the internet, especially when I'm streaming, I put myself out there a lot more. And I'm like, I think I seem more like an extrovert online than I do in person because it's two different spheres for me. And I guess that depends on where I am. And so yeah, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
I think for me, I actually had a struggle with this a little while ago when I moved from Northeast Ohio to Southern California between junior and senior year of high school. I ended up going from a community at first who like knew me. We had been with each other since middle school. I had moved around a little bit, but Ohio is where I spent like a majority of like my middle school and high school life. And all my friends knew me. I knew the people around me. Like within our little group, I had people who I felt like understood me as a person. And then being dropped into like a completely new environment, new community, new school, it was very easy to feel like nobody saw me. And at the time, I thought I would like thinking about it now, I think I would have been like terrified by that, but I actually found a lot of comfort in that. And it became a problem of me not worrying about what people saw of me because I felt like nobody saw me and I just didn't talk to anyone. I didn't really interact with anyone. It's very quiet. I kept to myself, my head down in classes, didn't really interact with any of the teachers. No one really felt like they had a good understanding of who I was as a person. And I got a little bit too comfortable with that. And I realized afterwards that I felt so lonely, so sad, and it was up to me to try and make that initiative to come out of that shell and actually have people see me as like the person that I wanted to be. And like I continue to struggle through that. I don't think I completely got over that senior year of high school, unfortunately. But the moment that I got into college and university, everyone was super like excited about coming to college, making new friends, finding their community, that I felt so easy to be able to try and like be myself for the first time. And that change actually helped me become like the person I am. Like I remember I joined a dance team freshman year, which is something
Yes.
let's go.
So we met.
That is. And that was something that previous me would have never thought of doing. I didn't have the confidence for that. I didn't even have the dance moves for that. Truth be told, I still don't, but it's fine.
No, you do.
But being with people in that community who actually helped me feel like I was lifted up, that I was being heard and being seen, pushed me to kind of grow as a person and find out who I truly was. Like I was someone who liked talking to other people. I was someone who liked helping other people, hyping each other up and things like that. And it's something I'm still working with today. I don't feel like I've got a complete grasp on it. I still feel like sometimes that senior who likes to like keep her head down is still in me, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, like I kind of try to live by this like thing, like fake until you make it type of mindset. Because I'm the same way. Like I'm trying to like all of my life I've struggled with kind of myself and being comfortable with who I am. But I'm like, if I just pretend that I am comfortable with who I am, like sort of try to give off this like, I am, this is who I am, even if it may not honestly like be who I am like 100%. I think like as long as I think that's like a really good way to, I guess, like a segue into becoming the person that we want to be, and like getting over those, like I used to be like super like, head down as well, like didn't like really ashamed of who I was just because I was weird and quirky and stuff. And because of that, I sort of like backed myself into this little corner of like, I'm weird, but like, what's up? But now I'm like trying to like be like, no, I'm weird, like period. I know, like, but yeah, somebody once told me like instead of fake it till you make it, like make it till you make it. I don't know if you guys have heard that before, but it's like you don't have to fake it, you just you are. Yeah.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
You guys are so relatable.
Yeah. Do you guys have any like does chat have any like questions or like any, I guess, experiences they want to share?
Anybody wants to keep their head down with me? Hit me up.
Sorry, I said I've never been a talkative person ever since 2020 hit the fan. I joined Discord and been developing into someone who can at least know how to talk to people. Yeah, I feel like streaming and like Discord has been like being online, not having to like show your face and like be able to talk on like messengers and stuff. Like it's the way that I've been able to actually like gain social skills in a way. I don't know if you guys can relate to that.
No, actually, yeah, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, too.
Yeah, too.
I mean, I look the way I do. I can't just like, or couldn't, I mean, even less with the pandemic, but like, I can't just like go up to people and act like I would like to, because they'll be like, what? They won't really get it. Which makes me feel like I have to explain it first. But online you get an username and it doesn't matter what you look like. So you can put your name out and just like learn how to act socially. I mean, like how to present yourself in a persona you're exploring. And that's been really awesome for me. As like in games Discord, I mean, I feel like online is a really good tool for that. So that's just my add-on.
No, totally.
Oh, also Noah had a really good question. You should read that.
Let's see.
Oh, Naswag, sorry.
How do you guys deal with negative comments about your identity or sexual orientation? Did you want to add on to that, Lily, or?
No, I just thought it was good. If you guys have any,
that was a good question. Yeah.
I'll go like last if I think of something.
No, we can bookmark that. Skylar, you mentioned? Did you want to talk about the previous question, or did any of you, Sari or Selena or Millipede?
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure everyone gets their answer in before we move on. Yeah, I mean, I guess how I deal with negative, I guess my whole life, like when I was like in high school, I was, super into like anime and video games, and this was not something that I went to like a really like liberal arts kind of preppy-ish like private school, and like nobody really played, at least none of the girls that I was friends with played video games. No one watched anime. I was kind of like, so I got like made fun of a lot of the time for that. And I guess like how I navigated that is it wasn't the best way. I kind of just like detached myself. But like if I were to be in that situation now, I guess like what I've learned, especially from just going to a larger college, is like there's so many people out there, and you're gonna find people. So you're gonna find your people, and people that share your interests, people that like think like you, or at least like will respect your beliefs. And you do not have to associate with people that don't respect the things that you like to do, don't respect parts of your identity. And that's just the awesome thing about just the world, is like there's so many people out there, and like especially online, and like meeting people on Discord, on Twitch, on social media, through gaming, you can find those people like a lot easier than you could like 20 years ago, so that's what I would say. Does anyone want to add anything?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. When I first started gaming, I was about maybe 10, and I started in like RuneScape and those days. And I think as a female, starting through that and I went into first person shooter games, there is a lot of toxicity towards females and LGBTQ, I feel like, in that sector. And that was hard for me at the beginning. But then I also realized, and even in high school, I actually didn't tell anyone. No one knew that I gamed except for my very close friends that also gamed. And I was always scared to tell people because, as I said, I am from Tennessee, and people sometimes are a bit judgmental at the high school that I went to. So I was always very quiet about it. But now I realize that you should be proud of who you are, and you should never let like other people's judgments stop you from being you and from voicing that. And if someone has a problem with that, then they're not worth your time. And like the reason they have a problem with that is because they probably have some insecurities of their own. So it's not anything on you ever. It's never anything on you, especially if it's something that you're doing that isn't affecting them in any way, and it's just you showing yourself. So I just realized that through the time, and now I am very avidly feminist in a way, and like pro females and LGBTQ within gaming, because I think that that's a segment that's really important to show, since there has been that toxicity. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Uh-huh.
Does anyone else want to add anything? We got a few more questions.
Noah, he's from my community. Shout out. Hello.
Hey, let's go.
That's why I can summarize my 2 words into fight me.
But
What I feel like is the 2 energies of all of us when something like this happens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it doesn't feel good to be like called out for something that is regardless of like whether you have any control over it, which you don't generally. I mean, it like, even if you know something isn't true, it can still hurt. But I mean, taking a second to think about it, or think about like how to take it, pays off. I mean, and it'll impact how you do it the next time, which is why fight me.
Fight me. Did anyone else want to add anything before we move on?
I think you guys summarized it perfectly.
Yep, agreed.
Awesome. So we have, what advice, where is it? Wait, where'd it go? Okay, what advice do you have for students going to college now? I can start off unless anyone has a super pressing comment. No?
Don't put finals until the last week. It's a really bad idea.
Yes.
Do your work early, guys. Don't procrastinate.
Yeah, no, definitely, like, you're gonna have so like something that I guess I've always struggled with is like feeling like I don't have time for things, and then like I'll just be like worried about like not having time for things, and that'll just waste more time. So like something that I've started doing in college is like literally like I have a schedule, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What am I gonna do each day? I don't like write out all like the time slots or anything. It's not being relatable. No, but like it's totally relatable. I think everyone kind of worries about like, oh, I don't have time to like, follow my passions and do my hobbies. Like I don't have time to do extracurriculars because I'm taking like 16 or 18 units. But I think just like being organized with your time, you will find slots within your day to do those things that you love, even if it's only like you only get to play video games for like an hour, or you just like you get to hang out with friends, but maybe it's only for like a few hours, or maybe you figure out a way to like mesh your like school with your friends. Like I don't study well with my friends because I just like end up talking, but like being able to like, I guess it works for some people, like studying with friends and stuff, like so you get to like see your friends and still have like a social life but also get to get stuff done. But yeah, definitely being organized. Like I use my calendar all the time, like planning out what I'm gonna do during the week, figuring out like pockets of where I can see people and do things that I want to do that's not related to school and work. But yeah, like a mental vague schedule. Yeah, like a sort of a vague mental schedule. But I also like discreetly write down things that I'm gonna do throughout the week in my calendar. But I'd also like write down like all the homework assignments that I have to do and kind of like parcel it out throughout the week. So I don't so I don't have to like procrastinate and do everything all at the end of the week.
Google Calendar is your best friend.
Agreed.
Yes. I use
Color
iCal, but
coding.
Google Calendar works too.
I
Use
That's
what?
good.
iCal, like just like or
Oh,
Goo-
iCal. I thought you
Yeah.
said egg cal. I was like, ooh,
egg cal. Oh, that
cool.
sounds cool. I like eggs.
New projects?
I would definitely agree with Emma's talking about studying with friends. The number of times I've literally just sat in a Discord VC in complete silence, just doing stuff with like doing work. It's just so comforting to have other people, especially because we're all online. It's so comforting to have someone else just existing in there, knowing that you're both being productive. And then like, it's just, I do this so much. I also do that sometimes. I hang out in my Discord. I'm just like doing work and stuff like that. But I think specifically being online and like dealing with online schooling and stuff like that, it's just really hard to connect with people. So I feel like especially getting work done online, just hanging out and being able to like connect with people you aren't able to really be with is so nice, because it's kind of like a mutual, you're working together and just vibing. It's kind of like just the study rooms back on campus or instead,
Yeah.
but like not really, but in a way, kind of. Also, the benefit of being able to play music and listening to it together. Bots. Anyway.
Yes. Totally.
That's about it.
Discord is
know.
awesome.
Discord is
True.
awesome.
It's
Absolutely.
crazy. Everyone's using Discord now. Like no one knew what Discord was before COVID, but now like
Yeah.
everyone's using Discord. I'm kind of shook.
Imagine working there. That'd be cool.
And Discord,
That
yeah.
would be cool.
Get a pay raise. No.
Sorry, Lily, you were saying something.
Yeah. This kind of, I mean, I guess this applies to IRL too, even though I haven't like been to college IRL. Take the opportunities that are given to you and do things with the people that are like at school that you can. I related to what Sorryberry was saying for a variety of reasons, but or Sorryberry, sorry. But keeping my head down like is really real, like and thinking I'm loud, anxiety, etc. Like I never really feel like I have a place in a group that I didn't like start and wasn't a part of at the beginning. Second one. But so that like gives me a sense of anxiety in Discord groups with like the people in my major, like in my university, and that caused me to miss out on like virtually all but a few of the events that were set up, and they're like trying so hard to make it fun. And I know like the rest of the people in my major are having like a lot of fun socializing and taking advantage of those opportunities. And I'm sure I could have too if I didn't like actively stay away from them because anxiety. So go for things, even if you're scared of them. It is worth it.
Yes, awesome. Oh, I'm trying to add my background right now, but I think I added the wrong one. I'll just move
Got
on.
this.
What do people in chat? Definitely find a good place free from distractions to study. Yeah, like I think like also like having like a place that you are like you're like I study here. Like don't study in bed, even though it's hella comfy. Like I totally get it. Like you will fall asleep because that's the place you sleep.
I love studying in bed.
Do you get stuff done though?
No, I always fall asleep. I fall asleep anywhere though. If I'm at a desk, I'll still fall asleep no matter. I'll put my head down. In the library, that was my sleeping spot.
Oh my
I'll open
gosh.
Discord
nap
or
spot.
Spotify, and that is it. Like,
Yeah. No, but I agree with you, Lily, when you were talking about branching out. I think a really important tip is even if you're not. So for me, when I was in college, I would join clubs even if I wasn't 100% interested in them, just to meet people from different backgrounds. Because I think that ultimately, like the most valuable thing you'll take away from college is having those different experiences and meeting people that you could never have met in any other scenario or situation, because college is a place where everyone's coming to learn and everyone's from such diverse backgrounds. So for example, I joined the music meditation club because
Ooh.
I knew that people would have like a really interesting take and perspective on things. When I was studying in Hong Kong for a year, I joined the Hong Kong Hip Hop Dance Society, which
What?
like,
That's so
yeah,
cool.
Sounds awesome.
it was awesome. So I danced hip hop with I was the only non-Cantonese or Mandarin speaker. And so when I joined, they were like, "Oh, why do you want to join us?" But they let me join and I became friends with like everyone. And I could have never met people. It would have been so much harder if I didn't join that club to meet the locals. And it was like, dance, as y'all know, Emma and Sariberry, is just a great way to connect with people without having to use language, because you're working together for a similar goal. And I think that that's really cool. And then the second tip I would give is to just in the beginning it might seem overwhelming, but as you go, you'll start learning more and more because you're doing everything. In freshman year you're overwhelmed, but then you'll realize, oh, I didn't like this club because of this, but I really like this one. And as you get older, you'll start to realize more and more what your passion is and your calling. So don't worry about that when you're young. You're all good. Even when you're a senior, I didn't know what I wanted to do until like this May when I started streaming. So you're all
Yeah.
good. Don't worry. So
Oh,
yeah.
totally.
And I can also speak from a little bit of like your like college or I guess school organization standpoint, especially with going online, like from what I've seen for the orgs that I help run. We have been struggling to try and find like new people, new faces, or people who actually want to interact with us. So don't be scared to try and like make that first step to join an org or join a community that you feel like you'll like. Because worst comes to worst, if it's not the place for you, then that's okay. That's completely understandable. But if you do find people there who you like, that's like an opportunity you wouldn't have had if you didn't even try that. And a couple of orgs I'm doing, especially since they're online now, we've created Discord servers and stuff like that for places to like study, hang out, and just vibe. So like there are spaces that are open for you. So don't feel free or don't feel scared to take those.
Yes, no, totally. People are saying like it's scary meeting people. I totally get that. That's why like I'm so glad like gaming has made me like able to talk to people like in person. I don't know, because it's like I feel like gaming is such like a relatable subject. When someone says that they play games, you're like, oh wait, what? Like then they totally have like that connection. Like unlike other things, like I don't know, because I don't really have that many other hobbies besides gaming, and I guess like piano or music. Like, I feel like music and like gaming is like such like an easy thing to just like immediately connect with somebody. Yeah, and I'm like I'm glad that I found this like community like SC Live. Like I like previously was like not super involved in any organizations because I just didn't feel like I could really like relate with them on whatever level. Like I was like kind of involved in some cultural orgs, but being adopted, like I felt like I couldn't really like vibe, like I couldn't really connect with a lot of the cultural orgs, I guess. And I was horrible at dance, so like I just like that was on the table. But I really like I think like just finding my niche in like through this like streaming community, SC Live, has just been so great. And like I think like everyone, all of you guys in chat, like you all have a place somewhere. You might not have that place right now. You might not have found it yet, but there is a place for you in this world. And yeah, just want to let you guys know that.
Y'all got this. I believe in you. No matter what happens, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. Starry says, in your own opinion, taking small steps are great and celebrate the small victories. Yeah, totally. Like don't look at the like, it's easy to get caught up in like looking at, like, I was getting a lot of anxiety on streaming when I was thinking about trying to get partner, because like that's like a big goal, but like just take it day by day, you know, like take the small victories, like, oh, I got like, you know, a new sub or something, like just celebrating the small victories. It'll, I guess, help not distract you from just being grateful for, you know, the small things, because yeah, it's really easy to get caught up in like worrying about like the bigger things, and like, you know, that's why it's like, instead of worrying about like, oh, what internship am I gonna get next summer, like don't worry about things like stoicism, don't worry about things out of your control, just do the small things, like, oh, I applied for an internship, instead of worrying about, am I gonna get it, you know, like just take it day by day.
I don't know what happened, but like a couple of years ago, or maybe like a year ago, like I didn't stop caring about things, but like the stoicism thing just like kind of happened. Like I kind of adopted that naturally.
Mhm.
Also, hair, or Emma, your hair looks like purple right now, and it's awesome.
Oh. My room is purple, so
But yeah, I mean, just like taking things as you go. It's really easy to get like worked up about super big things that are important and can't necessarily just be put down. But honestly, just acknowledging them and then accepting that you will take time to consider them and discuss them and learn more, or you'll take time to handle whatever awful situation just happened. You will find ways to get over and get past things. And taking the time to think about it is so powerful. It really is. Like a clear mind can do amazing things. And anxiety can cloud that really easily. It's that it might seem really hypocritical coming from me because I have anxiety, but thinking about things logistically, taking them not necessarily at face value, but for what they are rather than what they emotionally implicate. Like there are 717 viewers right now. I couldn't even count that in like 10 minutes if I tried. And it should be really easy to get overwhelmed about that. But it's just another Twitch stream. It's an opportunity to get messages out there that are important. Everybody here is here to like share an awesome time and learn more, offer opinions, and yeah, just have a good time. So it's not necessarily intimidating, and I feel like just taking things like that step by step,
yeah,
it's important.
thank you so much.
It's worth a try.
Yeah, is there any specific topics that, so we're almost at 7, I think we can still go over if we want, but we still have like a ton of different topics to talk about, like anything from like, do you guys like, I guess like throw it out to chat, like do you guys want more questions, like do you guys want to hear more about like student life, like questions around identity, like self-care tips, like how do we, I guess, like de-stress, like stay positive?
Tell us what you want.
Yes, tell us what you want, but I guess like let's maybe go to like a self-care one, since we've been talking about, or we can do a poll too, yeah. All I don't know. I mean, I would love to do everything. Do you ladies have any preference?
Anything's perfect.
I guess what do you guys do to de-stress in your, like, I guess, how do you cope with your stress? How do you de-stress? Let's throw that out there in chat. Feel free to say how do you all de-stress yeah.
Oh, I've just talked like a lot. Can I spend like 30 seconds? I promise I'll be quicker about this one.
Okay. Yeah, no, go for it. No,
You
I
don't
love
have
it.
to apologize. It's okay.
Yes, you're
If you have
doing
something
great. Lily. I
important
love
to
you.
say, then it is worth it. You're good. Take your time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so be careful about this. This is what I have done since like 5 years ago, I was like, not gonna say that because trigger warning. I was really depressed, like 5 years ago, and I didn't have a phone. That got taken away. So I just read books until like 1 a.m. That's not what I'm gonna say to do though. The thing that was the thing about that I think was good then was escapism, which is why video games are such a great escape. But it's also just about having time to yourself. Take time to yourself. Be in touch with yourself. Don't be always out there for the world, always doing things to be productive or creative or whatever. Take time late at night to watch a movie, play a game, chat with a friend. Keep it real. So like I've just kept that throughout, like it in high school, even now, like sometimes too far can screw up your sleep schedule, but like I think find the time. It doesn't have to be late at night, but like find your time to yourself. That's what I have to say.
Awesome. No, sorry, I'm laughing. This guy had a stress ball and then it
Wait, what?
exploded.
Oh no!
What? I was like squeezing it too hard. Like what happened?
I think I left it somewhere for. Okay, it was not like it wasn't really anything crazy. I just left it somewhere for too long.
That sounds
I think
traumatizing.
like the sun kind of just like got like fricked it up and like it just exploded.
Oh my god! I thought you were saying you like squeezed so hard that you just exploded with all your stress.
Like that's the mood,
Oh,
kind
no.
of.
To
Yeah.
be fair, it was like a stress ball that I got from like an elementary school like fair type of thing where we like made our own things and sold them. So it was one of those handmade ones. But it was so funny.
Yeah, it's probably relatable during COVID. It was all the stress balls exploding. Oh my god.
I got these like little Instagram is so good at targeting me with ads. I got these like little magnetic ball things, and I just like I play with them so much. I highly recommend. They're called like, not sponsored by the way, specs. I don't know. I like to always play with things.
Yes.
Not sponsored yet.
It's like
Specs is watching. Yo, hit me up. No, but
like you know the YouTube.
yeah, I love having little toys to like just play with in like class and like when I'm doing work. Otherwise, like I have like bad like picking habits, or I'll like pick at myself and stuff. Like I have this like anxiety condition. I don't know if anyone knows it. It's called trichotillomania. Like basically I pull out my hair. Like it's like an impulsive anxiety condition. And like I guess it was something that I've always been like insecure about, but recently I've been starting to like own it, and like it's a bigger community than I thought it was. Like there's a lot of people with it too. And like I guess like just being like able to define other people with like the same issue has helped me. And like that's why I think talking about mental health is super important, because you know you'll find people that are also struggling with like literally the same exact things as you, and like the same stressors. Like you feel like, I guess like the thing about stress is like you feel like you're by yourself and like your anxiety and like your emotions, and you feel like, you know, it's like you versus the world, but it's really not. Like reach out to a friend. I've started reaching out to like more friends lately when I get stressed, instead of just like turning into a ball and being sad, because like, you know, this unfortunately nothing good will come out of that. Like, you know, sometimes we do need our time by ourselves, but like, you know, it being able to like relate with others and talk to others about what we're going through is something that I guess helps me like deal with my stress. And like I guess yeah, just being able to talk about it, because then I guess it makes things like, it makes a problem that seems like it's like life or death into, you know, the tiny problem that it, because of the way that anxiety works for me is like a tiny thing, like an exam, for example, will seem like if I don't do well on it, I feel like I will like the world will end, you know, like it's just like sometimes like when I have really bad anxiety panic attacks, that's how it feels. But then I talk to someone and I'm like, oh my god, I'm freaking out, like this exam. And then they'll be, Emma, like, calm down, like it's an exam, like it's, if you do poorly, you're still loved, like you have a family, you have friends, like it's gonna be okay. So like I guess that's how I deal with my stress, just like talking. That's something new to me though. I did not always like cope with stress very well, and like I also like, just as like Lily was saying, like giving yourself time to do things that you like to do. Like at the end of the day, while playing some video games, watching some Netflix, watching a movie, listening to some music, just like it just those things is just such a good mental break from the chaoticness of the world and like work and school and all that.
No, I two both, I think, very human integral things, like methods. I think finding what works best for you is going to be a journey, however short, for everybody. But yeah, a little bit. Always have at least one close friend that you trust, that you can reach out to if you're in a bad place or you're really stressed. Like, you might not, your best way to relieve stress may not be the way that Emma finds best or I find best.
Exactly.
But it's worth having that in your mind just in case, or having it as an option.
Yeah, like what works for me, it works for Lily, everyone else here, like may not work for you guys in chat, and like finding those things that do work for you takes time, and like I didn't realize like how, like, I mean, talking to people just like sounds like, really like, it sounds like something like duh, of course you should talk to people, but like that didn't like actually become like really helpful for me until recently, when I started becoming more comfortable with my own, I guess, struggles and my anxiety. Like, I wasn't comfortable talking to people about my mental health, my depression that I had like when I was in high school, or my anxiety, until recently. So finding those things that you're comfortable with it'll take time, but you got this.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I would say that for me, I kind of agree with what you were saying earlier, Emma. I'm a huge workaholic and I work way too much. Like, I have a 8 to 5 job now, and then I try and stream from 6 to 10 usually.
You're a
And
queen.
No, it's
You
not
are, though.
good.
No.
Because I try to do it every day at the beginning, like 8 to 5, 6 to 10. And it gets very, very stressful and overwhelming, especially when you have to like improve as well, improve the stream, improve your content, keep it creative. So I think I realized that I need to take more time for myself, and also I think meditation helps a lot, and taking that time. It's not even meditation like in the sense that you might be thinking about it. It's even, for example, for me, makeup is meditation, because I'm not thinking about anything when I'm doing my makeup. It's just kind of like a really relaxing process for me. And so that's something that I really enjoy doing. Dancing, I like to put the music on all blast. I don't know if y'all have tried it, but you should try it if you haven't, because it's really fun. You just put it all the way up and you just start dancing, man. And
No, I do that all the time.
yeah. And you get all that stress out through that. There's just a lot of different things you can try, but those are two of my things. Yeah, definitely learning to take Korean dramas. Yeah, that's my third. But yeah.
Sarah's like,
That's a good one. I agree with that.
Yes. Because it's like light enough to where you can just, watch and enjoy. So yeah. That's about it. What about you? Sorry, do you have any? Or Skylar?
I think right now what I normally try and do is just like make sure I have at least half an hour to myself to just find something in my room to do what I want. Like, I like to do a lot of drawing and stuff on like my iPad, my tablet. And sometimes I just start with no purpose and kind of just figure out, like, just do the thing kind of. It's hard for me to describe because my like de-stressing outlets tend to range on the day depending on how I'm feeling or what I need to get done or what I feel like I need to get done. And I feel like I have a bit of a struggle of trying to when I try and de-stress, to make sure that there aren't other thoughts like going into my head, because otherwise like the whole purpose of de-stressing just doesn't work. But I think, like Millipede said, like I do like watching a lot of K-dramas and other shows like that. Even like watching like YouTube videos when it comes to like food, or like even like the Minecraft YouTubers who have gotten popular recently. Just finding some short little time period to just put all of my focus or energy into relaxing and not thinking about what I need to do or things that still need to get done are really helpful for me.
I guess for me, it's funny because I stream a lot of video games, but video games are also my de-stressor. So in a way, it's kind of been when also I'm also like always in a constant state of stress, which isn't healthy for me, and I'm working on it. But that's usually like throughout the semester, that's usually, especially during school year, that's kind of how I feel. There's always something I need to do, and I'm definitely trying to like not think of that. So like I guess what the rest of you guys also said, separating and being sure like you're actually de-stressing and like you're not constantly stressed. But yeah, so for me, I just play a lot of video games, mainly because it's a distraction, and that's usually how I get through things. In terms of, like, when I watch YouTube, it's like something to not have to focus on what's happening right now, and I can like enjoy the content, or just play games with my friends, because it's just a cool time just to relax and hang out.
Yeah.
So
No.
take this with a grain of salt, because that's not true. I generally don't step foot outside for days, but I've heard that running is good for some
Yes,
people.
go outside is good.
Breathe the fresh air, guys.
Heard about it.
Windows do wonders.
No, yeah, I'm the same. Like, I don't go outside that often, but like when I do, I'm like, why didn't I do this? Why don't I do this more? Like, I think in COVID, it's really hard to like, I guess, to get the motivation to go outside, because one, it's scary. Like, you don't know. It's like safer inside. We're having a stay-at-home order like in LA as of tomorrow, or safer at home order, and like, but like getting outside, seeing the sunlight, just being able to like, what I do, I just like take in nature and like listen to some music, and it always like a good mental reset for me, I guess, and like helps me, I guess. It's like it doesn't have to be that long. Like, I'm not gonna be like, run. I don't run anymore because I used to have asthma. Like, but like just like go outside, even if it's for like 10 minutes, it's just super good for your mental health. And yeah, like it helps me a lot. I don't know about you guys.
No, yeah. Oh no. It
Yeah.
I got like it's a long story, but basically that, and like just it's like I think it is like 10 minutes is great. Like it's good.
Yeah. Just that Emo says, I like walking at night more when I'm on campus more than I did during the day. Do you feel the same, Sky?
Night is such a vibe.
I'm
It's
just
true.
It was like, okay, at nighttime it's just nice because it's quiet and there's no one outside. But like when I was living on campus last semester, my roommate and I would literally go outside at 2 a.m. and go sit on the lawn on middle of campus. It's just silent. It's just so calming, relaxing. So in a way, I guess going outside in general is good, but night and day, both of them are good, I think. But yeah, I guess it is kind of dangerous, but not really. Depends.
depends on where you are. If you're
Yeah,
like
depends where
around
you are.
USC, maybe not.
If you go on campus with the protections, then you
Yeah,
should
if
be
if you're on campus, that's fine. But if you're walking out on the street, just be careful of your
a
surroundings.
bit scary.
Yeah, me and a couple friends actually did a really similar thing, Skylar. When we'd be studying late at night and feel like none of us can take it anymore and just need like a mental break. Because like me and my friends, we all have like skateboards or scooters or something like that to get around campus really quick because we're really bad at getting to our classes fast without them. We just grab our boards and just go outside if it was like 11 p.m., 2 a.m. sometimes, and just get the fresh air and skate around campus, which might disturb you guys if you're trying to take a quiet walk outside. I apologize for that.
No, not at all.
It's okay.
But there was something about like the like really cold, like crisp, fresh air that like hit us when we were skating around, whether it was like just to go to like the nearby Starbucks and get like another coffee because God knows we have to study for another like long night of finals or something like that. But it really like that was just like a reset and really helps us too.
Definitely, yeah. And Honestly, the campus is so big, I'm sure that no one would have noticed anyways.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right, so I guess okay, so another topic we can talk about real quick is like balancing like work or school with like your hobbies and like your passions and stuff, and still being able to like pursue your interests while also, you know, setting yourself up for the future. Like that's something I've struggled with, at least, because like as I've been like really interested, like loving streaming and stuff, like I'm thinking like how much should I be dedicating to streaming, but versus like applying for internships and like looking for like a more, you know, traditional career for the future. So yeah, does anyone want to get us started?
I can tell you about what not to do because I literally
Sure,
failed the class.
yeah. That works.
I scheduled time to do homework, but I didn't stick to it. Like I'm really bad at that. Like I'll see the notification pop up and I'll be like, yeah, but how about not right now? That would be great. So then also just like unimportant or super easy assignments sliding in favor of more interesting or larger projects will eventually add up. So be aware of that. But balancing interests and work. Okay.
And like work or school, yeah.
The one that I've heard that probably works for a lot of people, but I have not yet found the motivation to sustain, is having like a separate workplace. So don't be doing work on like your gaming computer if you're able to, or don't be in like the same area. Also be aware of your like time. So I am aware that my productivity hard falls off around 9 p.m. PST, and that like it's a really unfortunate fact because I should be working until like 12:30 a.m. Because I don't generally work during the day, and that's a struggle that I'm starting to come to terms with, because I just kind of game during the day, and then it would start to be evening, and I was like, it's either dinner time or I want to keep playing, and then it would be 9 p.m. and I would notice it's the cutoff. So like it's sticking to a schedule is probably going to be like really helpful for a lot of people, but if that fails, just be aware of, God, why do I put everything into gaming terms? Your win conditions and lose conditions. What's gonna help you?
Sure.
What are you gonna be able to pull off, and what are you not? And play to that. Hey, thank you for the sub.
Got to be aware of that KDR.
Oh my gosh. What is IRL KDR or
You are-
KDA?
Oh yeah, or KDA. Yeah, you are all Pog. Don't let anyone tell you different.
Yes.
Yeet.
Oh, PogChamp.
Agree.
Kappa, am I right? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I started using like Twitch emotes in my vocabulary, and I'm like,
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
oh
I say
God.
sad so
It's
much.
so bad.
Literally lecture.
Scary.
I'm like in a lecture and I'm just saying pog, like for no reason. I'm literally just saying pog in chat for no reason whatsoever. I'm
That's
in
so
a Zoom
common
class.
now, though. Like USC's chat out, like everybody's spamming F when the teacher disconnects, and I'm like, all right.
Can I get some F's, please? for this B.
Oh my god, yeah. Great time.
I think I called my boss like, bruh. I said, I was like, yeah, bro, I'll do that. I was like, wait, this
Oh my
man
God.
is my boss. That was an awkward moment in time.
Oh my God.
Time
It didn't
out.
have to be if they were
Wait.
technologically literate. I'm
Wait,
kidding.
I got timed out. Wait, I'm good.
Oh
Oh, what happened? You got
I
timed
got
out?
you, emo trash cat. Don't worry.
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh
I'm
my
good.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
But yeah.
Did anyone else want to answer the question? I don't even remember what the question was.
Neither.
Say pug. Pugs, because pugs.
Pug. No, pug, not
It's okay.
pug.
It's okay.
Love pugs.
Oh yeah, how do you balance your hobbies with school or work? Did anyone else want to, Selena or anyone want to?
I think with that, I know I struggle when it comes to doing my work that like I don't always have like motivation to start. And one advice that I got from a friend of mine who also has the same problems is like trying to balance something that you want to do with something you have to do. So like maybe like treating yourself for like even getting motivated for the first 15 minutes. Like what I do sometimes, if like say I have an essay that I need to get done by like midnight and it's 7 p.m. and if I procrastinate on it, suddenly it's going to be 11 p.m. and I'm going to be in panic mode. I'll like maybe like play a short game of like TFT or like one round of Apex and like get that done in 10 minutes. And then since I spent 10 minutes like playing, I'll spend 10 minutes working. And quite often I do a little bit of a cycle with that. And eventually I get into such a cycle of working that I forget about whatever like reward or like thing I was planning to do for like the time that I finished. And eventually the essay will get slowly but surely completed. So being able to balance like something that makes you feel like you can be doing work or like rewarding yourself for that work was really important for me.
Yeah. Yeah, like reward, like taking, what's like the marinara, what's it called? Pomodoro method?
Marinara?
Pomodoro.
I think it's Pomodoro.
It's like we're
I love that so much.
I clearly don't use it, but it's like a method where it's like where you like work for like 30 minutes or something and then like take like a 15-minute break and then you go, I don't know, just like spacing out your work. I tried doing that on Twitch and it didn't work. Like I was trying to do like a study stream, but I just kept looking and like talking in chat. So like I basically made like chat like emote only for like 30 minutes and I did like work for 30 minutes and it was very unproductive because I was still looking at the emotes and I was like, oh.
There's also like 52 minutes working and then 17 minutes on break, but that's much harder to get excited about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a longer time period for sure. Rip Emma study stream. Yeah, I can't do that. I don't like Celia, how do you do study? How do you like stay focused on study streams?
for real.
Okay, so the way that I always like approach my study streams, do you know that feeling when you go into like a coffee shop to like get work done, you sit down, you look around and you see everyone being productive around you?
Yeah.
And you feel that I feel like that kind of like, oh my God, I need to do work. Like everyone around me is doing work and being productive. Like they're gonna look over at my screen and they're gonna see that I'm watching YouTube for like the third time today. Oh no. But it's kind of like that. Like I understand that people are probably gonna be watching my stream. So like one of the things I do with study streams is I actually stream like whatever screen I'm working if it's homework that I'm allowed to show. And if it's like an essay that I'm writing or something like that, or like if I can't show my screen, I'll show like my desk where stream can see me writing or doing things because it's not as interesting for chat to like just look at me scrolling through my phone, and it feels better for that. It's like a little bit of I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like keeping me on track. It's like they'll see like me doing work and like it'll maybe like spur them to do some work, feel productive too. And also it's like, okay, I don't really want that chat to see me like on my phone. I gotta keep typing, I gotta keep working on this essay. And it's kind of like a little bit back and forth with that for me. And plus, if you guys want to like study stream together so we can all like keep each other on track, like I would be so down.
Yes.
Awesome.
Although I'm not sure if my chat wants to see me just crying over code for like 2 hours straight, but I mean they could. I never know. Maybe they would like to see me do that.
Honestly, I think my chat has seen me do that a couple times, and it's okay. It happens to the best of us.
I'll send my stream over to comfort you.
Yes. Okay, so I guess we can wrap the last question I guess I wanted to have was just like so something that I started doing recently before bed is it's kind of cheesy, but I like write 3 things that I'm grateful for in like a little journal, just like to keep myself in check, because you know like it's easy to get overwhelmed with things and like but you forget like it's easy for me, at least speaking from my own perspective, it's easy for me to forget like I guess all the privilege that I do have and like the place that I am today wouldn't have been able to get here without like the support from my parents and like my friends and stuff. So like, and just like every day, I guess just thinking like, what are 3 things I'm grateful for? What can I just sort of like, you know, shout out some positivity and like some like thankfulness. And this is ThanksGaming. So I guess, yeah, last question is, and this goes to chat too. What are 3 things that you're grateful or thankful for? And if you want to explain why, feel free to. They don't have to. Yeah. I'm gonna start with whoever, or I can start if you guys don't want to go.
I can start. I can
Okay.
start. I don't want to make you go every time. So I would say the first one is my family and friends who are supportive of like me working but also streaming at the same time, because it can be a lot, and I feel like parents don't really understand Twitch that much. And so like being able to explain that to them and have them allow me to do that, it's very kind of them, and I appreciate that. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be on panels like this, where we can share, you know, ideas and hopefully impact someone's life positively. Like even if one thing we said tonight helps someone through something, that's all I would ever want from this, and it makes me feel accomplished and like I'm doing the right thing. And then lastly, it's just nice to like see I'm sure y'all have the same experience, but when someone comes in chat and says that you're helping them through something, and that the community that they've been able to create with you is what's helping them through a lot, and your advice is something that has been getting them through things, and that just makes me feel really happy. So yeah, I'm grateful for that as well. That's
Awesome.
my
Thank
3
you.
things. Yes.
Awesome.
I think for me, at this moment, I'd say that first of all, my community on Twitch, which has been like sticking with me, and like the people I've met over the past couple months through Twitch, literally amazing. I'm so thankful for all of them for just hanging out and chat and like just playing games with me and everything. So they're amazing. 1, 2, I guess also like Mila said, my family for like tolerating me staying up till like 3 a.m. playing video games on like Monday nights because I want to, and so I can just vibe and have fun. And lastly, I guess my friends for like all my friends that mod for me on my my Twitch, for just like hanging out with me on stream and like kind of just vibing with me, even though like they're not really gaining anything much from this, and I appreciate them for everything they do.
They are. I'm sure they are.
But either way, I appreciate them so much for just being there for me and like listening to me crisis over stuff, but like helping me through everything that I deal with.
Awesome.
I think for me, one of them is also my Twitch community. When I started streaming on Twitch, I never thought, I didn't really have any expectations. So like finding consistent people in chat and consistent friends who would always like pop in to say hello, or maybe just even keep the stream open while they do other things, is something that was so nice to me. And I've been able to meet so many like awesome other streamers and people like through SE Live and other things. And it's really, really awesome for me. I'm so thankful for like the opportunity to do that. Also to my friends who I've been able to go to with like any problems or issues I've had, whether like it's COVID or like times before that, I wouldn't be the person I am without you guys in my life. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, I'm also thankful for my parents. My mom, it's not a stream unless she like pops in to say hi or like give me
Aw.
fruits, as many Asian parents do. So and it's really super sweet. She'll come knocking on my door sometimes at 2 a.m. being like, "Sir, we're an apartment. Please keep your voice down and go to sleep soon. I beg." But I know all of the love that she gives me, and my dad too. So I'm super thankful for them as well.
Awesome.
So mine are pretty cliche. But important. So I guess the first one is one that a lot of you guys have said too. Is like, in my case, not necessarily mods, but like the my stream has been so inconsistent. Like I will go without streaming for literally like 25 days. I'm trying to get back into consistency, but I'm full discretion. I've been like super inconsistent over the past year since I stopped like streaming every day. And despite that, a a, a solid family of uh of people who used to be regulars on my stream have stuck with me and have like always, it doesn't matter how personal something is, they'll always be there to like if I need them. And that is awesome. Literally like Nazwag was here earlier, like for a long time asking questions and stuff. He's awesome. And so I'm really grateful for that, for the family that stuck with me. Also, like for my life situation, I'm so lucky to be here and be able to have the opportunities that I am. Um, and 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 just like, yeah, be able to get here. I mean, I am I did not do the hard work that got me to where I am right now, so I have to be grateful for everything that got me here. And uh lastly, I'd say to my mom for sticking with me, uh, going out of her way and trying to understand not just Twitch when I talk to her about it, but like gender fluidity and what that means for like effectively like I don't know if you guys have ever considered this, but like when somebody announces that they're trans, like the first thought that goes through parents' minds is like, oh my God, did I just lose my ex? So like making it through confusion and potentially that loss and always being there for me and like saying things like, you go girl, like she is amazing and I'm so lucky to have her. So I'm really thankful for her.
Awesome. So I guess one thing, also super grateful for my Twitch community. I think like I'm glad that people like I guess share the same moral compasses as me of like just kindness and like being kind to others. And like I'm glad that people that we can like I guess all come together from or literally around the world, like people in the Philippines, from like Japan, like Canada, like literally everywhere. But we're all able to like I guess still come together and like just vibe with each other, and it's just so amazing to me. And I like I'm so grateful like every day. Um, and then like I guess just being like coming back to like the adopted thing, but just like being adopted into like the situation that I am today. Like my birth parents, when I was adopted, my birth parents were both like I think they're like 18 years old, and like I would not be in the place I am today if it wasn't for like their like selfless decision to have me be adopted. Like I know it's like really hard. I'm sure it was like hard for my birth mother to like part with me, but like I'm grateful like every day just to be in the situation that I am. And um I'm just grateful for like video games, honestly, just for being existing, because also would not be the person I am today without video games. And like just a creative and like escape, an outlet for me. It's always been. And yeah, I would not be half the person I am today without games either.
Being born
yeah.
into this part of history.
Yeah. Yeah, I encourage everybody in chat, everyone, like, period, to like, yeah, just like sit and like just reflect on things that you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be every night like I do, but like just like once in a while when things get hectic, when things are crazy, just like when I get really bad anxiety, like sometimes I just have to like remind myself, like, hey, like at least I have the privilege to worry about these sort of, first world problems, as one might say, like worrying about like my grades, or like if I'm going to get an internship. Like at least like I have the opportunity to be taking these classes that are really difficult, or be having the opportunity to apply for these internships or whatnot. But Yeah. Did anyone have any closing thoughts or remarks? It could be literally about anything we talked about today. And chat, if anyone has any questions or any comments, feel free to drop them.
I also just wanted to add thank you to all the mods because mods are amazing, and I'm sure we can all
Yes.
agree we wouldn't be able to do what we do without them. Honestly,
mods.
like,
Love
oh
the
my
mods.
gosh.
Mod superiority.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Some
gosh.
hearts in chat for mods, please.
Yeah, such a hard job. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, so we are SC Live. We can each, I guess, plug our Twitch, but we're my Twitch is twitch.tv/Emma Maylee. As I said before, I stream like variety for anything from like piano to just chatting, talking about mental health, talking about just life. I'd love to see you guys stop by sometime. You guys want to just
Yeah, sure.
yourselves,
So
yeah.
my Twitch is twitch.tv/SkylerNix. I usually play gaming content. I vibe a lot with chat. The other day we were just hanging out while I like played Minecraft, and we were talking about a lot of random things, which you guys should definitely come join us because it gets kind of wild and it's pretty hilarious most of the time. But yeah, I'm really happy to be here, and thank you guys so much for vibing with us tonight.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mine is twitch.tv/millipede. I play a lot of FPS, especially Valorant, but it's basically a just chatting stream because I'm really reading the chat most of the time, and so my rank like just plummets because of it. Like I got to plat when I was off stream, but then when I get on, I'm reading it. I'm reading chat. So if you want to talk and you want to talk about culture or food, I love food, especially Asian food.
Yes.
Or just staying positive in general. That's what the chat's about. It's really fun. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Siri?
Oh, okay. I can go then, I guess. You can find me on twitch.tv/SariBerry, just like it's spelled on the little name tag. I play a lot of Apex, but recently I've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact. We like to play lo-fi comfy streams, occasionally a little bit of K-pop and other music mixed in too. Yeah, normally I just end up talking with chat, vibing, sometimes getting a little too distracted in my game, but we're working on that right now. But yeah, if you guys are looking for time to just chill, relax, maybe fall asleep in the stream, you can come say hi.
Awesome.
Okay, so I mostly stream gaming content, but if I am ever if I ever happen to have a very active chat, it'll become very clear. My stream is also like very much about chat. It gets very excited then too. But it's like mostly gaming variety, a lot of League, and yeah, stop by sometime. I changed my name tag to my Twitch username, Blade Princess. I'm in the process of renaming from Lily IRL, and since I do all my graphics, that might take a minute, but we are working on it. So stop by.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for talking with me today, and thank you, Gordon, Rob, Sully, for making this possible, and thank you, chat, everyone, for showing up. Appreciate each and every one of you. Y'all are awesome. And yeah, remember to take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Try to get outside. We're all in this together. You're not alone. Sending you lots of love and all the best. Happy belated Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Stay safe.
Thanks gaming.
Yes.
Gaming.
Gaming. Thanks gaming. All right.